We're diving into the world of tech today, bringing you all the coolest and craziest headlines from TechView's 10X. It's December 21st, and let me tell you, the tech world is not slowing down for the holidays.
Oh, absolutely not. No way. There's so much happening, it's hard to keep up.
I know, right? We've got news about mini PCs that are absolute beasts, potential shakeups in the smartphone world, and even a cybersecurity alert to keep you safe while you're shopping for those last-minute gifts.
Gotta stay vigilant out there.
Exactly. And as always, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Now let's dive into the first story. These mini PCs are making waves. They can handle the latest Intel processors and pack a whopping 96 GB of DDR5 RAM. 96 gigs. And all that power in a device smaller than a bread box. Can you believe it?
I know, it's mind-blowing. The tech just keeps getting smaller and more powerful. It's amazing.
It really is. But what's driving this trend towards mini PCs? Is it just about the cool factor, or is there a practical side to it too?
Well, there's definitely a cool factor, let's be honest. But it's much more than that. We're seeing a huge demand for portable and flexible computing solutions. Gamers love them because they can take their rigs to tournaments or LAN parties. Content creators are using them for on-the-go editing and rendering. And even small businesses are finding them to be a space-saving and cost-effective alternative to traditional desktops.
That makes a lot of sense. And speaking of powerful tech in a small package, what about these CAMM2 memory modules they're using? Those sound pretty intense.
They are. CAMM2 modules are super fast. Think of them like the express lanes on a data highway. They allow for lightning-fast data transfer speeds within the PC, which means faster processing and smoother performance overall.
Okay, color me impressed. But now I'm curious, if these mini PCs are getting so powerful, what's holding back the rest of the tech world? What are the bottlenecks we're still facing?
Well, funny you should ask, because that leads perfectly into our next story. It turns out there's a big bottleneck in AI development, and it all boils down to chip connectivity.
Chip connectivity. What do you mean by that?
Even with the most powerful processors, the way data is transferred within the chips themselves is struggling to keep up. It's like having a super fast car stuck in rush hour traffic.
Ah, I see. So the processors are capable of amazing things, but the data pathways inside the chip are holding them back.
Exactly. And that's where this startup comes in. They're developing a revolutionary new technology that could completely change the game. Nvidia, AMD, even TSMC, they're all pouring money into this company because they believe it has the potential to solve this bottleneck issue.
Wow, that's a pretty big deal. But what is this technology and how does it work? Is it magic?
Pretty close to magic, yeah. The basic idea is that they're replacing traditional copper connections inside the chip with something much more efficient. Imagine switching from a clunky old copper wire to a super fast fiber optic cable. That's essentially what they're doing, but on a microscopic scale inside the chip itself.
That's incredible. So this could potentially lead to massive speed increases for AI and other applications.
Absolutely. We're talking about orders of magnitude faster data transfer speeds, which could unlock all sorts of new possibilities in AI, gaming, scientific research, you name it. This is the kind of stuff that gets me really excited about the future of technology.
Me too. And speaking of exciting tech, let's talk about smartphones for a bit. There's a rumor going around that the release date for the OnePlus Open 2 might be pushed back. What do you think is going on there?
Well, the foldable phone market is still pretty new and very competitive. My guess is that OnePlus wants to make sure they get everything just right before they launch the Open 2. They don't want to rush it out and risk having any issues or glitches, especially with Samsung breathing down their neck with their own foldable phones.
Yeah, that makes sense. Speaking of Samsung, there have been some leaked specs for the Galaxy S25 making headlines. It sounds like they're going all in on a super slim design, but how thin is too thin? Are we sacrificing battery life or other features in the name of sleekness?
That's a great question, and it's a trade-off that phone manufacturers are constantly grappling with. Consumers want a phone that looks and feels good in their hand, but they also want a phone that can last all day and has all the latest features. So it's a balancing act for companies like Samsung.
A delicate balancing act, for sure. But let's move on to the next story, because this one is really interesting. We're talking about a battle brewing in the world of storage. Kioxia, a major rival to Samsung, has just unveiled their new UFS QLC storage tech. They're claiming blazing fast speeds and massive storage capacity, all in a tiny package. Break this down for us. What exactly is UFS QLC, and why should we care?
So UFS stands for Universal Flash Storage, and QLC stands for Quad Level Cell. It's basically a new type of flash memory technology that's designed to be incredibly fast and efficient. Imagine downloading a 4K movie in just a few seconds. That's the kind of speed we're talking about here.
Wow, that sounds amazing. But what makes it so much faster than other types of storage?
Well, it all comes down to how the data is stored and accessed. With QLC technology, each memory cell can store 4 bits of data compared to just 2 or 3 bits in other types of flash memory. This allows for much higher storage densities and faster read and write speeds.
So higher density and faster speeds, that's a win-win. But I have to ask, is there a catch? Is there any downside to this new technology?
Well, the main trade-off is that QLC memory can have slightly lower endurance compared to other types of flash memory. But the difference is pretty negligible in most everyday use cases, so for most people, the benefits of UFS QLC far outweigh any potential drawbacks.
Okay, that's good to know. But before we all rush out to buy new phones with this super storage, let's talk about something a little less glamorous, but equally important. Cybersecurity. It's the holidays, which means scammers are out in full force, and this year they're using fake parcel delivery texts to trick people.
Oh yeah, these scams are everywhere right now. They play on our eagerness to receive our holiday packages. You get a text message saying there's a problem with your delivery and you need to click on a link to fix it. But don't fall for it. It's a trap.
So, what should our listeners be aware of to avoid falling victim to these scams?
First and foremost, never click on links in text messages from unknown senders. And be very wary of any text message that asks you for personal information, like your credit card number or your address. Legitimate delivery companies will never ask for this information via text message. If you're unsure about a text, go directly to the delivery company's website or app to check the status of your package. Don't give those Grinch-like scammers the satisfaction of ruining your holidays.
Excellent advice. Stay vigilant out there, everyone.
Eh?
Now let's circle back to the software scene. We talked earlier about this ambitious Microsoft Office competitor that's aiming to reach 1 billion users. What's their secret sauce? What are they doing differently to try and take on such a giant?
Well, they're taking a very aggressive approach, that's for sure. They're bundling everything people need for work and productivity into one seamless package. Office software, PDF editing, cloud storage, you name it. And they're offering it all at a very competitive price.
So they're undercutting Microsoft on price and offering more features. It's a bold strategy, but can it actually work?
It's hard to say for sure, but they're definitely making some waves. They've already attracted millions of users, and they're showing no signs of slowing down. Microsoft definitely has a fight on its hands.
It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. Okay, ready for a curveball. We're ending today's deep dive with 2 very different but equally fascinating AI stories. First up, we've got Chinese researchers who are repurposing Meta's Llama model for military intelligence applications. And on a slightly lighter note, Microsoft is rolling out Copilot Vision, an AI-powered shopping assistant, just in time for those last-minute holiday gifts. What are your thoughts on these 2 contrasting applications of AI?
It's a powerful reminder that AI is a double-edged sword. It can be used for good or for evil, and it's up to us to ensure that it's used responsibly and ethically. The military applications of AI are particularly concerning as they raise all sorts of ethical questions about autonomous weapon systems and the potential for unintended consequences. But on the other hand, AI can also be used to improve our lives in countless ways, like helping us shop for gifts or providing us with personalized recommendations. It's all about finding the right balance.
That's a great point. AI is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or for bad. It's our responsibility to ensure that we use it wisely. Wow, we covered a lot of ground today, from mini PCs and super-fast storage to smartphone trends and the ever-evolving landscape of AI. The tech world never sleeps. What stood out to you the most from today's deep dive? Let us know in the comments below. And before you go, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more techie goodness, and share it with your friends. We'll be back soon with another deep dive into the fascinating world of technology.
See you next time, and don't forget to stay curious.
Yeah. And stay safe.
Absolutely. Happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holidays.
Yeah.